Assassin squaring off against the relative newcomer in the maniacal, the diabolical Satanicus.
Well, you know, I've seen this Satanicus over the last few weeks wrestle, and you can tell this man has been around a while. Of course, the old troll, he's been around a while. That guy gets ugly every time I see him.
Satanicus unloading with those right boots in the corner on the Cuban Assassin, and now just choking him right in front of referee J. Edgar Hooper. The Cuban Assassin is sent for the ride into the corner, and Satanicus follows that up with a corner clothesline, rattling the veteran. There's a one to jack the jaw of the Cuban Assassin, and you know what, Bad News Allen, the Cuban Assassin in recent weeks has been mentioning the fact that he may once again reform the Cuban Assassin tag team. Speculation has it that his son may be coming to Stampede Wrestling very soon, although I've heard his son right now is floating on a raft somewhere between Cuba and Florida. It's going to be interesting to see if Fidel Castro gives him clearance to come to WOW.
Well, I tell you one thing. I know this Cuban Assassin, this little troll, for a long time. He got thrown out of Cuba by Castro personally, and I'm sure they're going to kick his son out also to bring that fool into Castro.
The first incarnation of the Cuban Assassins in Stampede Wrestling was in 1975 to 77 when the Cuban Assassin teamed up with Francisco Cibi. Another Cuban Assassins tag team showed up in 1979 when this Cuban Assassin formed a tandem with Juan Kruger, and time will only tell if the Cuban Assassin will form another team with his son. Right now, though, he's trying to stave off Satanicus. There's a reverse knife edge chop in the corner, and now it's the Assassin unloading with a right hand and another right.
Well, I tell you one thing. I feel sorry for his son because he's going to have to do all the work because they're going to need an old wheelchair next to the ring for this idiot.
Double armbar with the rear chin lock now by the Cuban Assassin. He knows every trick in the book, Bad News.
Well, I'll agree with you there. Even though I don't like the guy, he does know every trick in the book. It's not below him to break the rules.
Now a chicken wing submission as Satanicus trying to escape by pulling the hair. Now the Cuban Assassin measuring him up, and there's a well-placed knee between the shoulder blades.
I'll tell you a couple of more of those, and Satanicus is going to need the chiropractor in the back that we keep back there in case the guys need him.
Just kicking things off this week on Stampede Wrestling, and right off the bat, the Cuban Assassin with that short arm clothesline on Satanicus. I want to take a quick moment, Bad News, and say hello to our friends at Cable Regina, Cable Estevan, and Cable Weyburn. Believe it or not, and it is true, Stampede Wrestling, the #1 rated show on Cable Regina and growing in popularity all the time. So we want to say hello to the fine folks watching Stampede Wrestling on those great stations as Satanicus turns the tide on the Cuban Assassin.
Wait a minute. Why are you so shocked that we're the #1 show?
I'm not shocked.
First of all, since I came to this organization and I brought Mrs. D in here with me...
believe it or not because I didn't think you'd believe it. I'm not shocked.
I don't have to not believe it. I believe it because I know that I got the contacts, I got the money, and I'll bring the talent in that the people want to see.
The way you deride the Hart family, the way you throw your weight around here, Bad News, you just better be ready to have it thrown around by somebody else, if you know what I mean.
No way, shape, or form. As long as I'm in charge, ain't nobody going to put their hands on me because Mrs. D watches out for me. She watches my back.
Satanicus, with those rights really having little effect on the Cuban Assassin. He is jacked about being back in Stampede Wrestling. And there's a shot, a jab right to the throat of Satanicus. And now he's up along the ropes. The Cuban Assassin sends him for the ride. Big back body drop.
I want to know what's with this referee. He stood there, right there, looked at him, saw him give him a chop. Satanicus a chop to the throat and didn't say anything.
Lariat coming off the ropes by the Assassin. Goes for the cover, and Satanicus kicks out at 2. Speaking of Regina, I also want to say hello to the good folks at the Regina Travel Lodge East, the home of Stampede Wrestling stars in Saskatchewan. So we'll be coming back to Saskatchewan very, very soon. Always a pleasure to be in the great province of Saskatchewan as the Cuban Assassin fires Satanicus into the corner. There's a kick into the breadbasket.
Well, all I got to say is you can thank Mrs. B for getting that hotel. Beautiful hotel that it is. She made all the arrangements and she took care of everything.
Reversal by Satanicus. Unfortunately, nobody was home, and he rams his shoulder into the post. There's the Cuban Assassin. Ace crusher. Goes for the cover. Hooks the inside. Yang it over. The Cuban Assassin squashing Satanicus this week on Stampede Wrestling.